people just like the word connection keeps coming up for me, because that's what it's all about. That's what life is about for me. That's what music is about. That's the whole thing. And I really miss that. So it has emphasized the importance of that in our lives, really, that we need each other. And we were joking earlier prior to recording this that, you know, at least we're not talking about Brexit. I mean, that was a big inspiration for a few songs on this album, was really, rather than talking about building walls between us and all of that, like working together and humanity's compassion. And, you know, instead of, you know, talking about division, talking about maybe unity between people. And I think now more than ever, we're thinking along those lines, because we are all in this together, as everybody keeps saying, and it really feels like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter what part of the world you're from, no matter how much money you have, we're all affected by it in some way. So there's certainly that. I just hope that people remember that after this is all over.
You certainly hope so, wouldn't you? You certainly hope so.
Well, I hope a few lessons are learned, certainly, because I do think greed takes over, and we forget the important things in life. And this is not me preaching. I think we've all got something to learn from it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think we'll just appreciate life just that little bit more, and appreciate each other a little bit more. And I've seen a lot of kindness. I know it's a very difficult time for people at the moment, and my goodness, I can't even imagine, like, homeless people in abusive relationships. There's so many people that I can't stop thinking about at the moment, because, you know, however difficult it is for you and I think there's a lot of people who are suffering terribly at the moment. So
absolutely.
I really feel for those people. But I've seen so much kindness. Just it's the simple little things, you know. We've had little drop offs of people, kind neighbours and friends leaving little bits and pieces on our doorstep, and we've been, you know, making sure to contact people and doing what we can do ourselves. And those things are very important right now. And my God, people can be very kind in these situations. So it's nice to remember that side of things as well, because it can be very negative as well, can't it? Listening to the news all the time.
I think the important thing to remember is that although there's perhaps a lot of negative emotion now, when things do get back to some normality, there's going to be an overwhelming amount of positive emotion coming from people when you get to see your loved ones again as well. So I think that's a positive.
Yeah, extraordinary. I can't even imagine. My God, like when we get to hug people.
Yeah.
And that's so difficult. I'm a big hugger.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just so strange not to be able to do those things. But I do think, it'll be one hell of a party when this all ends. I worry for our welfare, to be honest.
Livers. So we'll start to wrap this up. What are you guys listening to currently in your house? Is there any artists you're enjoying that you'd want to recommend for people to listen to?
Oh, yeah, God. Well, of course, we'd have to say Lucinda Williams' new album is just stunning. We've been listening to that a lot recently. And our pal Ray Kennedy was one of the producers on it. And it was recorded in the same studio in Room and Board Studios in Nashville. That's a fantastic album, I have to say. There's always our go-to albums. Like, you know, we're big Jason Isbell fans, and Robert Plant and Alison Krauss we were listening to just yesterday, Raising Sand. So we've been listening to the usual, really. The go-tos for us would always be Steve Earle, Lucinda, Jason Isbell, Alison Moore we were listening to yesterday, some beautiful songs, and Mary Gauthier we were listening to actually last night. I'm trying to remember that song. Is it called Just Drink? But stunning, and she's a stunning songwriter as well. And there's just so much happening, actually, and so many new releases at the moment here in Ireland. We've got a lot of friends of ours releasing stuff here as well. Clara Rose, The Sweet Sorrows, The Man Whom, Peter Murphy's an Irish guy. There's always Becky and Randy Newman, are a couple who do kind of Americana stuff here. They're from the States, actually, but living in Ireland. My God, I could just go on and on. There's so much. Birds of Chicago, fantastic. I've been listening to some of their live streams, and Robert Vincent is a pal of ours, and loving his album. So there's no shortage of music, that's for sure.
You're good at this answer. That usually throws a lot of people off.
Well, believe it or not, that's even still throwing me off, because I'm sure I'm just leaving out the most obvious albums ever that have just been released. But Lucinda's been taking up a lot of our time recently with her new album. It's just stunning, and she says it like it is. God bless her. She doesn't hide behind the door, and I think we need a bit of that at the moment as well. We're just, obviously it's such a turbulent time, and politically this living in the States must be extremely difficult at the moment for so many people. So it's a really good album, I think, for the times that we're in.
Perfect. So, all being well, what do the next 12 months have for you guys?
Well, I don't think anybody can answer that question. What we'd hope, we've just signed with a fantastic booker, promotional agent, Neil O'Brien Entertainment. And we are thrilled about that, I have to say. Neil works with Joe Bonamassa. He books for Joe Bonamassa, Beth Hart, and lots of fantastic acts. So we are thrilled to be on his books. And that was just a recent thing in the last few weeks. So we're currently working on a November tour with him. We have to move forward. We have something happening, even if it means it's going to be cancelled. We got to just get something happening. So that's what we're looking at, actually, a bit of a London showcase gig, followed by just a few UK dates around the 18th of November. That's what we're kind of hoping for. So that's kind of the nearest, really. I mean, we still have a lot of gigs that haven't been cancelled, but it's very unlikely that they will be going ahead. We're all waiting to kind of see what the next step is. And we are writing songs. It's difficult, as I say, with a 4-year-old in the house, but when inspiration hits, we just go with it. And we have been writing a few songs, which we're really happy with. So we're certainly not giving up. And apart from that, it's trying to stay healthy and sane and keep the spirits up as much as is possible at the moment. Perfect.
Thanks very much for your time, Aileen. I'll speak to you soon.
No problem. A pleasure. Lovely to talk to you.
Cheers.
Thank you, Kevin.
And there we have it, Aileen from the Remedy Club. Just a brilliant interview. Aileen was really lovely and just a genuine pleasure to talk to. She gave really in-depth answers, as you heard. So thank you so much for taking the time out to sit and talk to me. You can find the Remedy Club on all good music streaming websites and, of course, on social media. If you want to buy digital or physical copies of either of their albums, you can do so on theremedyclub.ie. As always, if you like what you heard this week, please do tell your friends about the podcast, and if you can like, follow, review the show, etc., that'd be brilliant. The show comes out every Friday. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, on the iHeart Radio app if you live in the US. You can find the Total Country Podcast on Twitter and Facebook, and if you want to contact me, you can do so via those methods or drop an email to totalcountrypod@gmail.com. On the next show, I'll be joined by... well, you'll just have to wait and see. Keep an eye on the social media, or if you like a surprise, I'll just see you next Friday. That's all for this week's show. Thanks again for joining me this week on the Total Country Podcast. I've been Kevin Angel. You've been great. Until next time, ciao for now. Keep country.
We got to just get something happening. So that's what we're looking at, actually, a bit of a London showcase gig, followed by just a few UK dates around the 18th of November. That's what we're kind of hoping for. So that's kind of the nearest, really. I mean, we still have a lot of gigs that haven't been cancelled, but it's very unlikely that they will be going ahead. We're all waiting to kind of see what the next step is. And we are writing songs. It's difficult, as I say, with a 4-year-old in the house, but when inspiration hits, we just go with it. And we have been writing a few songs, which we're really happy with. So we're certainly not giving up. And apart from that, it's trying to stay healthy and sane and keep the spirits up as much as is possible at the moment.
Perfect. Thanks very much for your time, Aileen. I'll speak to you soon.
No problem. A pleasure. Lovely to talk
Cheers.
to you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Much as is possible at the moment.
Perfect. Thanks very much for your time, Aileen. I'll speak to you soon.
No problem. A pleasure. Lovely to talk
Cheers.
to you. Thank you, Kevin. Inspiration hits, we just go with it, and we have been writing a few songs, which we're really happy with. So we're certainly not giving up. We have a gig tomorrow with Culture Ireland here, actually, at an afternoon gig, which is unusual. And we're really looking forward to that. That'll be like a Facebook live stream. We're not doing a whole lot of them, but we will do maybe one or two more, I think, in the coming months.
Yeah.
And apart from that, it's trying to stay healthy and sane and keep the spirits up as much as is possible at the moment.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks very much for your time, Aileen. I'll speak to you soon.
No problem. A pleasure. Lovely to talk to you.
Cheers.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you,
that was
Kevin.
Amazing. Cool. I'm going to get this edited up. I'm going to put it out Friday, so I will make sure you get a link for it.
Fantastic.
But yeah, perfect.
And it's the new endeavour for you. Is it? How long have you been doing this?
I've got 2 seconds. Let me just stop recording. So I stop recording anything irrelevant. 2 seconds. There we go.
Spirits up as much as is possible at the moment.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks very much for your time, Aileen. I'll speak to you soon.
No problem. A pleasure. Lovely to talk
Cheers.
to you. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you,
that was
Kevin.
Amazing. Cool. I'm going to get this edited up. I'm going to put it out Friday, so I will make sure you get a link for it.
Fantastic.
But yeah, perfect.
And it's the new endeavour for you. Is it? How long have you been doing this?
I've got 2 seconds. Let me just stop recording. So I stop recording anything irrelevant. 2 seconds. There we go.